Alright, what's up guys? So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up your OBS for streaming, and especially for streaming games like League of Legends and Counter-Strike and things like that. I've been getting a lot of requests to show you guys how to set up OBS for streaming, especially with the different plugins I use, the different scenes or different things that I use to get my games displayed properly, and also the settings that I have for in-game that give you the best quality for that game. So basically, I'm going to go over the general thing of OBS. Hopefully you guys can see everything. This is my desktop. So I have a couple things going on right now. One of the things here, so this is basically your OBS program. In OBS, you create a scene, and then in your scene you can add sources to that scene for your streaming. Now there's one thing I want to touch on briefly before we get started. Is there's a source called Scene Switcher, so you can switch between multiple scenes. The way I have it set up, I have this set up just for like a very simple broadcast. I have one scene and then I have multiple sources in that scene that I use. And this seems to work the easiest for me. You guys can set it up however you want. But basically, I have my scene. It's my general game streaming scene, and then I have multiple sources in that. So you'll see things like CLR browser, pick for Webcam Off, on air, my Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, webcam, things like that. So basically, to add a source, you right-click in the window, click Add, and then you can add whatever type of source you want. And then we're going to start here on. I'm going to start down here with a couple different things before I touch on some harder ones. One of the main things that I have on here is going to be that everybody asked me about is my Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. It's going to be what you're seeing displayed right here on the screen. And all this is a slideshow. It's an image slideshow. So when you go down to add, if you go down to add a source and you add image slideshow, and what that pulls up, it's going to pull up this window that looks like this. It's going to ask you a couple things, time between images and yada yada yada. Do you want fade in, fade out? So you add multiple different images, and then that adds a slideshow for your stream. And basically what I did is I pre-made my text down here, and on my text down here I made it in, I think, Illustrator or something like that. You can do it in Photoshop, Illustrator, Paint, literally whatever you want to make it in. You save that image, and then you just add it here. So if you click Add, it'll ask you where you want to find it, and then you import it, and you're good to go. And then once you have all your images, you can set your time for your images to scroll and hit OK. And then you have your text scroll for your in-games or whatever you want. And I just like that because when people are watching my stream, they can say, oh, what's his YouTube channel? Or, oh, hey, what's his Twitter? I need to hit him up on Twitter. And this is all that information there while they're watching. That way they know. You can adjust where your scenes, you can adjust where your sources are placed. If you highlight it and hit Edit Scene, then you can then take this red box here and you can move it around wherever you want. And basically this red box here allows you to, I don't know if you guys can see it, let me make this a little bit larger, but here, this red box here, you can drag it up, make it wider, things like that, just to fit your needs, where you want to place it and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so that's that for that basic one there. Next thing you're gonna do is you want to obviously probably want a webcam. You're gonna click Add Scene and then go to Video Capture Device. And then once you choose that, you'll choose your webcam, and then you can set up your webcam however you want. I have a 720p webcam, so under my resolution it's gonna say 720. I use it in 30 frames. And yeah, that's your webcam. To make your webcam quality look the best, you're just going to have to play around with it, and that's going to be in your webcam settings. I have a Logitech webcam, so I go to my Logitech webcam settings and I adjust that for my stream to make sure that it looks good. So just go to your Logitech or whatever webcam you have, go to that camera's settings application or whatever it comes with that allows you to adjust the settings. Go in there and adjust it and you should be good to go. So that's how you do your webcam. And then obviously you can edit scene, you can make it as big as you want. You'll see like a lot of girls and stuff, and not even girls, just other random players on Twitch, and they have this giant picture that covers half their screen, and that's their webcam. You can do that if you want. You can make your webcam as big as you want on your screen. I like it kind of small down here out of the way, that people can glance at me if they want to see what I'm doing, but I'm not just like imposing on the whole game that I'm playing. So that's pretty good for webcam. Another main things that you're gonna want to do is if you're like me, I like people to see my computer monitor. I like it to see, if I'm online, they want to see my web browser, and that's gonna be your monitor capture. So if you go down and you add the scene, it's gonna be monitor capture. What that does, it captures the whole computer monitor. So whatever you're doing on here, people are going to see it. And I like that because I like to be able to go onto like a YouTube video that someone sends me to pull that up and play it for everybody, or if I want to switch over to my Twitter and see what's going on and I want people to see what I'm looking at, they can do that. So that's going to be monitor capture. Monitor capture is also good for games like League of Legends, because if you notice here, this is the game client. However, once you go into the game, I feel that you need to have a second source set up for the game itself, because what happens is this is doing your whole monitor capture. As soon as the game starts, it goes full screen mode, and only thing that you're going to be able to see when that happens is a black screen, and that's because you have to add another source for the game. So let me show you here. So this source here I have is going to be called add source, and it's going to be called game capture. And under game capture, you can literally go into your applications and find which game you want to capture. And that's what I did here. I went and found my League of Legends client, and this is going to be the actual game once it's being displayed full screen. And I feel that it's very necessary to have this set up for games like League of Legends that have a client like this, and then once you go into the game, it has the full screen mode. So a lot of Dotas and stuff like that, a lot of MOBAs like Dota and League and things like that use that type of client, and that's what you're going to need to do. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Another thing that I like to do is going to be pick for webcam off and also an on air. So what that is, I'm getting a game started here while I'm showing you these settings. So basically what these do is it allows you, so for me, like a lot of times I don't want to be on webcam all the time. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll choose a picture instead of a webcam image. So what my pick for webcam off does for us, here I'll show you. I'm going to turn my webcam off and I'm going to turn this on. So basically it's just an image that's a placeholder for where my webcam would be, and that gives people like, okay, who's talking? I want to see what this guy looks like without actually having me on full webcam, and it's, sometimes I'm tired or whatever and I don't want to have my webcam on, and that's what this does. So let me move this over here so you can see a couple other things that I'm doing. Alright, so another thing that I like to do is when I'm still talking on my microphone and I'm streaming and I don't have my webcam on, I like to put this on air button. So this on air button here is just another image. It's just an image. Add image. It should be same thing, just add source, and then it's going to be image. And when you add that image, you can place that wherever you want. Just like I said, when you edit the scene, you can place it wherever you want. And I just put that on there, that way people know that as soon as they go to my stream, if they don't hear me talking, maybe I went to the bathroom or something like that, they'll still see the on air button, knowing that, hey, he's on his microphone. I'm going to stick around in the stream to hear what he has to say and maybe chat with him or whatever. So that's a good way to keep people still interested in your stream, even though you don't have a webcam on. You still have an image placeholder that shows your face, and you still have the on air letting people know that you are talking on the mic. So I normally use those two when I don't really want to be shown on camera, whatever, for whatever reasons. So let me turn those back off. Go back to my webcam and see how I'm just switching between my sources down here. And you can do that, or you could do scene, like different scenes for each thing. You could set each one of these scenes up to have each one of these individual things on here, and you can use what's called a think it's called, it's a plugin for your scenes that you can switch between them, scene switcher or something like that. Alright, so this is the game, and I'm going to get out of here and show you some of the kind of the quality that we're working with my game. Okay, so this is the game, and this is the quality I have it at. If you notice, like, I'm still running, like, you know, anywhere between 100 to 200 frames per second in this game. And it should be a pretty clear image for you guys. I do stream at 720p in 60 frames a second, and I like that. That's a good setting for my computer. It doesn't bog down my CPU or my frame rates for playing the game. But it also, it gives me a good clear image. And a lot of times with the 720 settings, if it's 720 60 frames, it's gonna look better than 1080 30 frames in some cases. I think it looks better in most of the cases, so that's just what I like to do, and hopefully you guys will too. I think that's what makes my stream look the best. So alright, so we're gonna just go over this. So you got a little example here of how it performs, but let me go back to my OBS and we'll talk about it. So you're gonna want to go to your settings for your stream and we're gonna talk about a couple things here. Alright, so on these settings, first you want to go to is encoding. So under encoding, I set it for x264 and I use CBR, and I also enable CBR padding on it, and then I set my my max bitrate in KBS for 3500, and you can adjust this however you want. I always set it for 3500. That seems what works the best for me. So if you guys aren't getting good results with 35, drop it down. That's basically with my bandwidth that I'm getting here. This works great for me. So you get like 120 down and 12 up or something like that. So this right here, 3500, is it works really well. I don't notice any performance issues. So go ahead and try that out. That's what I use. For broadcast settings, obviously you need to put your Twitch stream key in here, and you just get that from Twitch. All right. So here's another key thing that we need to go over. This is my video settings. So you're gonna choose your video source, which is like your graphics card, or if you don't have a graphics card and you're using onboard for some strange reason, you would choose that there. So I have my graphics card selected, and then under my resolution, I use a custom resolution. So with my resolution, I use a 1920 by 1080, 16 by 9, and then here's where it gets kind of cool. So then I go to my resolution downscale, and I downscale my resolution to 1280 by 720, and that's where you're going to get your 720p high def. Okay, I use the Lanxos best detail 36 sample filter on here, and then I set my frame rate to 60 frames a second, and that's very important. That's going to give you the 60 frames a second at 720p. This works really great, and as you notice here, it's good quality, and it just looks good. Looks good, sounds good. There's a lot of detail. There's not many, you know, it's not stuttering from frame issues and things like that. So that should be a good setting for you guys here. Under audio, I use default desktop audio. That way you get the game sounds and all that going on. And then I also use here, I use the my microphone, which is my microphone that my headset that I have on right now. That's what that's going to be. You can use push to talk if you want and all that sort of stuff. I don't really use it. One thing I do want to mention is the desktop boost and mic boost. They're going to be default to 1. If it's on 0, that means it's not on at all, so it has to be at least at 1. Just be careful. If you increase any of these numbers here, it can cause like a staticky, like popping noise or distortion noise, because it's boosting your mic volume and your desktop volume over what it's supposed to be set at, and you can get a little distorted sound. You can sound kind of clippy and robot-like, especially with the mic boost on. So just be very careful that these aren't over boosted, or it will sound like crap, to be honest. So, all right, that should be good for audio. Hotkeys, and this is just if you want to hotkey anything for your stream. I have my start stream and stop stream hotkeyed, so that makes it easier for me to start and stop my stream if I need to, without having to go into my OBS app and stop it or start it. So that's that. Under advanced settings, now here we go. This is going to be the main section to get you guys a good quality stream. Under general, I use multi-threaded optimizations, set it to priority class normal, and I set my scene buffering time to 700 milliseconds. So that should be a good setting for you guys. Now this is gonna, right here under your video settings, this is gonna vary per computer, depending on how fast or awesome your computer is to how potato quality and slow your computer is. So this is gonna be pretty much what determines your frame rates and the quality of the stream and how much artifacting and stuff that you get during your stream. So now a lot of times you'll see people streaming and it'll look good, right? But you still notice like artifacting and like things kind of blur together that they shouldn't. Just doesn't look like the actual game that they're playing, right? Well, this is the key to fixing that, guys. This is your video settings. So basically under advanced you need to go to video. I use under the X264 CPU preset. This is key. So I think it comes standard set to super fast or very fast. The lower that you go down here, faster, fast, medium, slow, slower, the lower these settings are here, the higher quality your stream is going to be. Now keep in mind though, if you just all of a sudden you don't have like this crazy supercomputer CPU type deal and you choose slower and then you just go and start streaming, it's going to be skipping, like it's not going to be able to handle it, and your streamers or your viewers for your stream out there are only going to see like every 1, 3, 6 seconds of you streaming instead of being a nice fluid stream. It's going to be choppy and clippy and look like crap. So when it's set to faster, like the faster it's set here, the smoother it looks, right? Like, not the smoother, but like you can see everything in your stream, not detail wise, just everything's being processed super fast, so you get it looking very you know, action based, but you're not going to get the details. As you slow it down, it's going to be processing this information a little bit slower. That way you get more detail, but you have to pay attention to your frame rates because you don't want to have this super choppy looking stream where people can't even see what you're doing. So play around with this. It works really great on my computer at the faster settings. If you want to see what hardware I'm working with, just go to my Twitch channel, and under my profile you should be able to find all my computer specs, and this is what works really well for my processor and my graphics card and everything else. But give it I mean, this is just something that you're going to have to play with. You're going to use the CFR setting here, and then you're just going to need to change these and do a test stream and keep changing them down here slower and slower until your stream starts looking like crap, and then you just bring it back one to where it looked good, and then that's it. That's what I did. I started at super fast and kept going down and down and down, so I went to fast, and it was fast. It started looking kind of choppy. I mean, I got great detail, but it wasn't smooth, so I pulled it back one to faster, and man, it looks great. At least in my opinion, I think it looks really well. So that is key to making your stream look good. A lot of people forget about this whole setting. So that's how you do it. Under audio, just going to leave this at force desktop audio, and everything else on here is standard. So that's pretty much it for the settings on my OBS to get this to look really good for you guys. One other thing I do want to touch on, which I find is really cool. I'm not big about promoting things, but one of the things that I do use is going to be the CLR browser. And what I have for CLR browser here, it allows me to get notifications during stream that people can see. So let me just show you the website. So the website we're working with here is going to be Twitch alerts, and once you go to Twitch alerts, you need to link your Twitch account to them, and then basically you can go down here to your alert box, and you can customize when people follow you, subscribe to you, donate to you, or are hosting you online. So anytime one of these actions happens, you're going to get an animation, and you're going to get a sound effect on the screen that all your followers and all your viewers can see. And it's kind of exciting, especially if you're watching someone stream, especially like someone that's like a very top-notch streamer that has a lot of viewers, and then you follow them or you subscribe to them or you donate to them, and all of a sudden that person sees their name pop up on the screen with like this image, and it's exciting and people like it. So this is how you do that. It's a good one. It's a good starter one, especially for people who are just getting into streaming. So it's twitchalerts.com. Go down to your alert box, and then you can go down here and you customize all your alerts and like how you want them to look. You just have to play around with it. One of the things that you do need is the CLR browser source plugin, and this right here, it gives you the link straight to it. You click on it, and then you go back into your your OBS. And once you're in your OBS, let's see here. It's going to be the same thing that you would do. You just go down here and you add it, and then you choose your CLR browser, And then once you have your CLR browser, they give you a link, and this link right here you need to paste into the URL for your CLR browser, and this is going to allow you to have those images and sound effects pop up during your stream. And that's really it. I mean, same thing, you go to your scene and you can adjust where they're positioned on the screen, and all that, whatever works out good for you in the game that you're playing. And it's really cool. So I'm going to do a test thing here for you guys to see what this looks like. So let me just do a test follow. So we're going to start that, and I'm going to go back into the game here with everything off so you can see what it looks like on your end when this happens. Alright, so the way I have it, I don't see it on my screen. If I had my second monitor set up, it would be displayed on my second monitor. But yeah, so you should see here in a few seconds exactly what that Twitch alerts does.
Yeah.
There you go. You get the sound effect for the follow, you get the image, and it's a good way to get, you know, to get people amped up and hype about your stream and being able to interact with you. So that's a good way to do that. Alright guys, so I think that's pretty much it. I should have covered literally everything that you need to get a good stream quality on here. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helps you guys out with your streaming endeavors here in the future. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitch. Go to my YouTube channel, send me a message, Twitter, you know, send me a shout out on Twitter, say hey, help me out, and I'll see what I can do to get back with you guys and give you the best information out there. So yeah, thanks for watching my stream, and I'll